Welcome to the Bladed Tech Channel's 79th edition and second year of the Tesla and SpaceX Redux. We are reviewing the milestones that occurred on each day of the week of March 7th through March 13th in the history of Tesla, SpaceX, and other Musk-affiliated businesses. March 7th, 2020. The CRS-20 resupply mission was lifted to the ISS by a SpaceX Falcon 9 B5 rocket, booster 1059, from the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station's Launch Complex 40 on this date. The booster successfully returned to a ground pad. It was the last launch of Phase 1 of the CRS contract. Originally scheduled to launch on March 2nd, 2020, the launch date was pushed back due to a second stage engine failure. SpaceX decided to swap out the second stage instead of replacing the faulty engine. It was SpaceX's 50th successful landing of a first-stage booster, the third flight of the Dragon freighter C-112, and the last launch of the Dragon 1 cargo spacecraft. March 8, 2018. Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweeted on this date an appeal to the U.S. government to level the playing field in car tariffs between the U.S. and China. China imposed a 25% import tariff on U.S. cars and banned U.S.-owned automobile subsidiaries from operating in the country. In contrast, 100% Chinese-owned companies operated in the U.S. and with little or no tariffs. Musk said, quote, "Do you think the U.S. and China should have equal and fair rules for cars, meaning same import duties, ownership constraints, and other factors?" Musk also said that Tesla tried to work with the Obama administration on the imbalance, but that, quote, "nothing happened." At the time of Musk's tweet, the Trump administration was on the cusp of imposing new tariffs on Chinese imports, but not on automobiles. It was not clear what influence Musk had on President Trump, if any, after the Tesla CEO stepped down in 2017 from Trump's Industry Advisory Committee in protest over the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Accords. Interestingly, the Chinese government decided to concede the issue to Tesla, and only Tesla. 2 months later, Tesla set up a Chinese subsidiary wholly owned by its Hong Kong subsidiary on May 8th and received approval for construction by the CCP in July. Production of the Model 3 commenced in December of 2019. March 9th, 2020. CNBC revealed on this date that SpaceX had just raised $500 million, valuing the company at $36 billion. The amount raised was double what the company had originally been looking for. The capital raise came on the heels of raising $1.33 billion in 2019. SpaceX said the money was needed to continue development of the Crew Dragon capsule and the Starlink broadband internet constellation. The Crew Dragon, also referred to as the Dragon 2, first manned mission occurred on May 30th of 2020, and its second on November 16th of 2020. The Dragon 1 freighter was retired in 2020 in favor of the cargo version of the Crew Dragon. Starlink launches had begun in 2019 and continued in earnest throughout 2020, with the beta version of the broadband service going live in November of 2020. The full Starlink constellation is expected to cost at least $10 billion to field. Enjoying our content? We issue new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe so you stay current. Subscribing is free, and we encourage you to browse our 350-plus video library, where you can find more milestones installments for every day of the year, as well as tech documentary segments, current events in space exploration, science and technology, gameplay recordings, reviews of tools and equipment, and reviews of small electronics and appliances. Each video is tagged with an alphanumeric indicator in the title, so searches for particular segments are quick and easy. March 10th, 2015. Elon Musk tweeted on this date a video of a drag race between a Model S and a Snowmobile on lake ice in Norway. Musk said that the electric sedan did not have tire chains or studs. The Model S was a P85D, while the Snowmobile was an 800cc 160 horsepower Lynx Boondocks. The traction control of an all-wheel drive two-motor drivetrain was in immediate evidence as the Model S quickly accelerated in spite of the slippery conditions. In contrast, the treads of the Snowmobile had trouble getting purchase on the thinly snow-covered lake ice. The Snowmobile's driver, Sondre Bjorberg, later said that the machine would have performed significantly better in all snow, but the Model S's performance was still quite impressive. March 11, 2021, the Starlink 20 cluster of 60 version 1.0 satellites was lifted to low Earth orbit by a SpaceX Falcon 9 B5 rocket, booster 1058, from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station's Launch Complex 40 on this date. The booster successfully returned to a drone ship. It was the 21st launch of Starlink satellites, bringing the total so launched to 1,265, including prototypes. There were to be only 8 more launches of version 1.0 satellites before SpaceX began launching version 1.5 satellites on September 14th. Have you agreed with our choices, or do you think there are other events in space and tech history that are better? Go ahead and share with us by dropping a comment below. If you have suggestions for other space and tech milestones, let us know. We'll credit milestones we pick for future videos to those viewers that post them. And don't forget to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. March 12, 2015, Elon Musk tweeted on this date, quote, "The rumor that I'm building a spaceship to get back to my home planet Mars is totally untrue." The posting elicited hundreds of responses, most of whom seemed to get the gist of Musk's humor. Some, however, fretted as to whether Musk was still going to follow through on his prediction of sending SpaceX spacecraft eventually to the Red Planet. SpaceX fans need to have not worried. The Starship spacecraft had been in development since 2012. The company released significant details of the design in September of 2016, and construction of the Starhopper engine demonstrator commenced at Boca Chica, Texas in October of 2018. On March 3, 2021, the full-sized and fairly complete Starship serial number 10 conducted a suborbital flight of about 7 miles in altitude before returning to the landing pad, the first full-size prototype to do so without crashing. A methane leak destroyed the craft 8 minutes after landing, but it was clear the company was well on its way to its goal of eventually launching the Starship interplanetary spacecraft into space. March 13, 2014, Musk tweeted on this date a faux Tesla ad created by 2 recent college graduates, James Kabushani and RJ Collins, co-CEOs of nascent ad agency Everdream Pictures. The ad was produced for only $1,500. Musk was so impressed with the ad that he tweeted the link to the YouTube video and said he would likely hire the creative firm for future projects. Tesla also posted the commercial on the brand's Facebook page and Twitter and Instagram accounts.
Ready for takeoff.
On February 28, 2022, NASA ordered additional commercial crew missions to the International Space Station from SpaceX for $776 million. The award was a modification of its existing commercial crew transportation capability contract with SpaceX. Delays in the development of Boeing's Starliner prompted NASA to award the additional commercial crew missions to SpaceX. The modification adds 3 missions to the original 6 operational, or post-certification missions, to the International Space Station covered by the original contract awarded in 2014. The fourth of the 6 original SpaceX post-certification missions, Crew 4, is scheduled to launch April 15th, followed by Crew 5 in the fall. Depending on the status of Starliner, Crew 6, the last of the originally contracted missions, could then fly in the spring of 2023. The 3 new missions would presumably occur during 2023 to 2024. Assuming all 3 additional flights carry 4 astronauts each, as have previous post-certification missions, the contract modification works out to be a per-seat cost of $65 million. While NASA has not published per-seat prices for past commercial crew missions, NASA's Office of Inspector General estimated a cost of $55 million per seat for SpaceX's original contract in a November 2019 report. That latest price is still significantly less than alternatives. NASA paid as much as $86 million for Soyuz seats in past contracts directly with Roscosmos. The same OIG report estimated a per-seat cost on Boeing's CST-100 Starliner of $90 million under that company's contract. We hope you enjoyed this 79th episode of Bladed Tech's Tesla and SpaceX Redux. If so, click that like button. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, or just stay in touch by following us on our microblogging accounts, which are listed below, the community feed for this channel, our Instagram feed, and our Minds page. We announce all new videos and post some unique content on those outlets. And if you prefer an alternative video distribution source, consider visiting our channel on Rumble. Thanks for watching.